Okay, so good morning everyone. Today I will show you my simulated lesson plan used last demonstration. So here we have the objectives. So at the end of the 30 minutes discussion, the learners were able to recognize the difference between common and proper noun, recognize the capital letters properly, and appreciate the use of common and proper noun. So in the subject matter, we have the topic, of course, common and proper noun, the reference internet. So this is very essential to put the reference internet or the source of the information you shared to your students. Okay, so materials, we have the speaker and laptop, and the values can be learned after the discussion is the appreciation and understanding. So we have now the procedure. So in the procedure, this is a simulated lesson plan. It is okay or all right if you don't put the students' activity or the students' respond. But in your case, if you want to put it there, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't against in that thoughts or mindset. Much better if you put. But in this case, I did not put the students' activity. Okay, so first we have the preparation. Okay, then we have the motivation. Okay, that is our motivation. And last is, no, letter C, the third one is the presentation and generalization. In the fourth phase or in the fourth part, we have the assessment and application. In here, it is informal activity, informal assessment, or simply evaluation. This is to determine if your students learn after the discussion. And lastly, the assignment. Okay, so as I go along in this video, I will answer questions raised by Dr. Tampus about my lesson plan defense. Okay, so here is the question. What is the lesson about and why did you choose this lesson? My lesson is all about common and proper noun. And I choose this lesson for them to learn or to refresh because at the young age of 10 or 9, they do not know these things. So I ask the students. In this pandemic, majority knows that students did not learn. And I really conclude that. I really finalize that in my concept that yes, it's really true. It's because uh, this is this topic rather introduce probably grade 2. Just a simple what is noun, I ask them about these things and they cannot answer. When my when I ask them about, okay class, so do you know what is noun? Do you have background or what is your idea? When you hear a word noun and then they did not answer, it's because they don't know. And it's a good thing for me that I open this lesson to them. At least, probably if they will encounter this lesson about proper and common noun, the differences and so on, they can answer or they are knowledgeable enough. Okay? So how will your lesson contribute in developing lifelong learners? This can really contribute to them, especially in grammar construction and talking other people or social relationship or majority in academic writing because not just a noun but you will also specific or you will also learn the capitalization of letters that once we end with period always capital the first letter and so on. That can be found in my discussion. So what innovative teaching pedagogy did you use Okay, for them to learn, for them to um, encourage and to appreciate, to interact the discussion in the class, I allow them to have a participation. And of course, I always ask them, okay? I always ask those things about nouns. I always ask questions, of course, related in my discussion. So the innovative or my strategy during the evaluation or assessment, when I call a common noun, they will stand up, and if I call a proper noun, they will sit down. So this is a quiet, interactive at the same time. When I call a name, and if it's a common noun, you will stand up, and then if a proper noun, you will sit down, and so on. So it's a quite interesting for them. Okay. So where the intended learning outcome achieved. So in my evaluation, if I will base in my evaluation, they really recognize the last part, the effective. They really recognize the difference in between the common and proper noun. It quite obviously discuss what are the difference and how they can recognize. What are the things? I always put in their mind, I always told them that once we say common, it is a general name. And once we take it as a proper noun, someone's own or property. And that is my hints to them to learn better. Okay, so how did you assess? Okay, so in the assessment form, it's informal at first because quite interactive, like sit down and stand up. But after that, I also give them a written work. I also group them into two since there were four in the video presented. I group them into two, and then that's how I assess them. So if you teach the same lesson, how will you do it differently? Well, if I give it a chance to retake the discussion, well, in my strategy or pedagogy, I will analyze them. I will give them a worksheet first. In the motivation part, I will give them various sentences. I will give them various names, and I let them determine where is the proper noun and the common noun. And probably in the assessment, I can give them a very energetic and enjoyable assessment dance. So they will dance or they will give an action based on the names that I will call or I will give them through written or oral. Or probably we can have a quiz bee who can answer first. She will step forward until she will reach in front, and so on. So that's all for my lesson plan defense. And if you have further questions, don't forget to comment below. Thank you so much and good morning.